There was an afternoon when you sat on the cold kitchen floor. The sun streamed through the window like golden honey poured onto the tiles. You were 7 years old, maybe 8. The world still fit in the palm of your small hands. The house breathed around you. You could hear your mum humming as she washed the dishes. The sound of running water mingled with her off-key voice. There was no hurry at that moment. There was no place to be. You simply existed there, complete, whole. Time moved like syrup. The smell of coffee still hung in the air. Breadcrumbs on the table told the story of breakfast. His bare feet touched the icy floor. Every sensation was clear, real, alive. You needed nothing more than that instant suspended in time. The light changed angle slowly. Shadows danced on the walls like gentle ghosts. You watched everything with your eyes wide open. The world was immense and small at the same time. It all fit inside that square of sunlight on the kitchen floor. There were no notifications in that silence. There was no urgency disguised as importance. Just you, the cold floor, the golden light, and the distant sound of life happening. That's how you knew the present. That's how the present knew you. The hours moved like lazy clouds. You didn't count minutes or check hands. Time existed only as a sensation, as a breath. Every second was dense, full, complete. You didn't realize you were living the last time you would feel like this. The window framed the backyard where the grass grew wild. A few yellow flowers sprouted among the weeds. Everything had its place, its rhythm, its reason for being. Nothing needed to be explained or justified. Existence was enough on its own. You played with your fingers, observing how they moved. Each movement was a discovery. Each gesture, a work of art. There was no performance or audience. Just you discovering that you were alive, that you existed, that you occupied a space in the world. The wind came through the crack in the door and ruffled your hair. It was as if the universe was touching you lightly, whispering ancient secrets. You understood without words. Your skin knew things that your mind had not yet learned. You were pure presence. At that moment, you were nobody but yourself. You carried no expectations or disappointments. You had no fear of the future or nostalgia for the past. There was only that eternal now, that piece of eternity disguised as an ordinary afternoon. Now you wake up and the first thing you do is reach out. Not to touch the sunlight. Not to feel the morning air. You reach out to a screen that never sleeps. A false window that promises to connect you with the world. But something has got lost along the way. The silence has become unbearable. You need to fill every empty second with some kind of stimulation. Music, videos, news, messages. The emptiness haunts you as if it were a disease. As if being with yourself were a sin that urgently needs to be cured. You scroll down the screen with your thumb. An automatic, almost involuntary movement. Like breathing. Like blinking. Your body has learned gestures that your soul has never chosen. You move towards a hunger that can never be satisfied. Every scroll is a desperate search for something. The hours dissolve into fragments. Broken pieces of attention scattered across apps and platforms. You consume content like trying to fill a leaky bucket. Always missing something. Always needing more. More stimulation, more novelty, more entertainment. More of everything but you. Your mind has become accustomed to artificial speed. 5 seconds of silence seem like an eternity. 10 seconds without stimulation becomes unbearable. You've developed an allergy to stillness. Your own company has become a burden that constantly needs to be lifted. You've forgotten what it's like to be present without performing. Every moment needs to be documented, shared, validated. You live your life through an invisible lens, always thinking about how that moment will appear to others. Spontaneity died a slow death, suffocated by the need for approval. The real world has become insufficient. Real colors seem faded compared to filters. Natural sounds sound monotonous next to soundtracks. Your own life seems dull compared to the edited lives you consume on a daily basis. Reality has become a second-rate product. You eat without tasting. You walk without noticing the ground. You breathe without realizing the air. Your attention is always elsewhere, always divided, always fragmented. You've become a tourist in your own existence, watching from afar, never really present. Conversations have become intervals between checks on the phone. You talk while thinking about other things. You listen while planning your next response. Intimacy has become performance. Connection has become a product. You're always connected and always alone at the same time. Your ability to marvel has atrophied. What used to surprise you now goes unnoticed. You need ever more intense stimuli to feel anything. Like an addict who needs larger doses. Your heart has got used to the rush and has forgotten how to beat slowly. There is a place where your preferences are mapped with surgical precision. Every click, every pause, every eye movement is recorded and analyzed. Algorithms know what kind of sadness attracts you, what kind of anger keeps you engaged, what kind of hope makes you click on next video. Brilliant minds are paid fortunes to study how to keep you glued to the screen. They're not minds interested in your well-being. They're minds interested in your time. Your time is worth money. Your attention is currency. Your distraction is profit. You are both a customer and a product. What you think you are choosing has already been chosen for you. Your preferences are carefully molded by experiences that seem accidental. That video that appeared out of nowhere didn't appear out of nowhere. It was put there specifically for you, at the exact moment when you were most vulnerable to its message. You believe you're exploring, discovering, deciding. But you're being led through a labyrinth that has only one way out, more consumption. Every path you think you're choosing takes you back to the center. Back to the screen. Back to the infinite scroll. Back to the emptiness that needs to be filled. Your emotions have become data. Your joy generates clicks. Your anxiety generates engagement. Your loneliness generates dependency. You are studied like a laboratory experiment. Your every reaction feeds a machine that learns how to manipulate you better next time. What you call entertainment is behavioral engineering. What you call information is propaganda in disguise. What you call connection is contrived isolation. You're being separated from yourself in such a subtle way that you don't even realize when it's happening. Your ability to concentrate has been deliberately fragmented. Your attention cycles have been systematically shortened. Your need for instant gratification has been methodically cultivated. You've been trained to be impatient with natural processes that take time to bear fruit. The culture of haste has been sold as evolution. Multitasking was sold as efficiency. Constant connectivity was sold as progress. But nobody asked you if you wanted to evolve in this direction. Nobody explained to you the price you would pay for this improvement. You're being convinced that you need to be productive every second. That rest is laziness. That reflection is a waste of time. That slowness is incompetence. Your humanity has been reclassified as a bug that needs to be fixed through self-help apps. Silence has been demonized as boredom. Solitude has been stigmatized as depression. Contemplation has been ridiculed as a waste of time. You were taught to be afraid of your own thoughts, to run away from your own company, to distrust your own stillness. Your memories are now outsourced to the cloud. Your navigation is outsourced to GPS. Your concentration is outsourced to focus apps. Your socializing is outsourced to social networks. You're being disconnected from your own natural capabilities, one function at a time. Haste has become virtue. Slowness has become a sin. Doing has become more important than being. Quantity has become more valuable than quality. You've been convinced that being worth something means constantly producing something. Your self-esteem now depends on external metrics. Likes, views, comments, reactions. You've learned to measure yourself by numbers that other people control. Your sense of self-worth fluctuates as algorithms you don't even understand decide who gets to see what you share. The present has been hijacked by the future. You're always planning the next step, the next goal, the next achievement. Now has become just a means to get somewhere else. A stepping stone to a future that never arrives because it's always moving further away. You've been taught to distrust your instincts, to question your intuitions, to seek external validation for decisions that your heart already knows the answer to. Your inner wisdom has been discredited in favor of the opinions of strangers on the internet who have never lived your life. But underneath all these layers of noise, you're still whole. Underneath all those acquired habits, your essence remains untouched. Like a seed buried under tons of soil, it still carries within it everything it needs to flourish. You haven't been broken. You've just forgotten where you kept your integrity. That child who sat on the kitchen floor still exists inside you. That ability to marvel still pulses in your chest. That ability to be present still runs through your veins. You haven't lost anything fundamental. You've just covered what was always yours with layers of distraction. The silence that haunts you is not emptiness. It's fullness in disguise. It's the sound of life happening without haste, without agenda, without performance. It's the natural rhythm of your heart when it doesn't have to compete with notifications. It's the sound of your soul breathing freely. You don't need apps to meditate. You are living meditation when you allow your mind to rest. You don't need exercises to connect with yourself. You are pure connection when you stop running away from your own company. Your presence is your natural state, not a skill that needs to be developed. The earth still turns at the same pace as it always has. The seasons still follow one another with the same ancestral patience. The sun still rises and sets without haste. Nature still operates in its own time, inviting you to remember that you too are nature. You too have your own rhythm. Your breathing still happens without you having to control it. Your heart still beats without you having to remind it. Your body still knows things that your mind has forgotten. It still carries the wisdom of millions of years of evolution. It still knows how to be alive without an instruction manual. You weren't made to live at the speed of machines. You were made to live at the speed of life. To grow as trees grow. To bloom like the flowers bloom. To rest as the fields rest in winter. Your nature is cyclical, not linear. The people you love are still there, waiting for you to come back. Waiting for you to take your eyes off the screen and look into their eyes. Waiting for you to listen to their voices without dividing your attention. Waiting for you to be present in the moments you create together. The physical world still exists with all its texture, temperature, smell, and flavor. The grass is still soft under your bare feet. Water still tastes like water. The wind still carries old stories when you stop to listen to it. Your senses still work when you use them. You still have the ability to stand still without feeling guilty, to contemplate without producing, to exist without justifying, to be without doing. This capacity has not been removed from you. It's just been discredited, discouraged, forgotten. But it remains there, intact, waiting for you to claim it. You don't need to make a revolution. You just need to stop. For a moment. For a breath. Long enough to remember that you exist beyond your tasks. Beyond your worries. Beyond your plans. You exist as pure presence, and that's enough. Start small. Start where you are. Feel the weight of your body on the chair you're sitting on. Feel the temperature of the air touching your skin. Listen to the sounds around you without trying to identify or judge them. Just listen. Just feel. Just exist. You don't have to be extraordinary to matter. You don't need to conquer the world to have value. You don't need to impress anyone to deserve love. You just need to be awake to the ordinary miracle of being alive, of being aware, of being able to realize that you are realizing. The present is not a place where you arrive. It's where you already are. You always have been. It always will be. You don't have to travel to find it. You don't need to buy anything to access it. You don't have to improve anything to deserve it. It's here, now, available as your next breath. This is the turning point. Not when you finally get it. Not when you finally understand. not when you finally become. Now, this moment when you realize that you are already complete, that you already have everything you need, that you're already enough. You don't need to be huge to matter. You just need to be awake.